Yo, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh!
what is going on? What is going on? It is your boy David, and I got my guy Randy, and we are
Yo!
for another episode of Mets on Top. Now, before we get into that, we hope everybody's having a blessed Friday. When it's the weekend, everybody's hyped because people don't really work on Saturdays. Everybody's doing a lot of family things, hanging out, just enjoying the weekend. So we hope everybody has a blessed weekend. But let's get straight into business. My guy, we got 2 Silver Sluggers.
Yes, sir.
Today, it was announced today, but yesterday, I think it was yesterday or today, right?
Yesterday, I think it was yesterday.
Right, yesterday. And one of them was Mr. Pete Alonso himself. Now I'm about to show y'all real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm about to show y'all his stats, just so we could go over them a little bit and get straight to it.
38 home runs, 126 RBIs. I mean, this guy, man, Pete Alonso had an overall really awesome season. Absolutely. He batted like 270, 272.
Yes, 272 with a slugging of he slugged 524.
Yep.
Yeah, his numbers are not as high as they were in 2019, but 524, his second best in his career. So that should automatically tell you the type of wave that he was on. Except the funny thing is that he struck out a lot last year too.
He did.
Again, 2024 was his most. 2025 was his second most. He struck out 162 times. But if you look at his home run numbers, 38, he drove in 126 RBIs, which is the most in his career. He walked 61 times.
Yo, bro, where's his hat from, bro?
Say it again.
Top Bunk Sports hat.
Oh, that's old logo.
Hey, you look nice, bro.
Appreciate it. But yeah, man. What do you think of how do you assess Pete's overall year in 2025, and what do you think he's gonna go into his first post contract year and wherever he ends up?
Well, listen, I think Pete Alonso overall had a really awesome year. I mean, like I said, 38 home runs, 126 RBIs. This is a guy that overall did not have a good season in 2024, had a down season. And he didn't even have 100 RBIs in 2024. He had a 212 batting average or 220, something like that. Not overall good numbers and not what you want. That was a down year for Pete Alonso. But 2025, he obviously there was the free agency and all of that, and the Mets brought him back. But this is a guy that overall did his own work. Like he was talking to someone that wasn't the Mets hitting coach, but he was doing his own research. And I saw that, and I was like, wow, okay. And he had really good numbers, man. This is a guy that was batting like 300 in the beginning of the season. With runners in scoring position, he had great numbers. Overall, had an awesome season. But what I see coming, I mean, you had a Silver Slugger award, his first Silver Slugger award for him. So awesome for Pete Alonso. Congratulations to the former Met, Pete Alonso, because he's not a Met right now. He's not a Met right now, is the truth. But I think when it comes to the Mets, I think they need him. They need Pete Alonso. They need Edwin Diaz, and they need Pete Alonso back. I hope that Pete Alonso does come back to the Mets, but I could see a world where maybe he doesn't come back. I could see a world where he doesn't come back.
What's a team right now, if the Mets don't bring him back, what's a team you think could possibly get him?
I think definitely the Boston Red Sox could possibly be interested in Pete Alonso. We know that Tristan Casas is coming off an injury. We know that the Boston has been searching for a first baseman, and the whole Devers thing, whatever, that they got traded, that didn't work out. Tristan Casas got injured, but they haven't. It was also Bobby Doback. That was a guy that was playing first base for them years ago. So they haven't found that like first baseman that they could believe in, and Dominic Smith wasn't it. So Yeah, I think the New York Mets. I mean, the Pete Alonso. I could see, I could see Boston. I could see maybe the Phillies. Maybe the Phillies will go after him. I could see the Angels.
Him to
Could
the
see the Angels going after him.
him to the
Something
face.
like that. I don't see so many suitors for Pete Alonso because he's getting older, and overall, there's scouts that are concerned with his athletic ability. Obviously, -9 in defensive runs saved in 2025. Not what you want out of Pete Alonso, but you're getting one of the best sluggers in the game. He's only one of six players that had 80 extra base hits. So this is a guy that has a lot of ability. He's special. But defensively, there's a lot of flaws there.
Him to the Phillies would break my heart.
I know.
Him to the Phillies would just be like, dude, what the hell? Listen, there's Pete. In my opinion, again, I think if you look at it, if you look at his numbers, I think this is worthy of him being able to get whatever he wants. I said it in Queens baseball space earlier today. Shout out to Queens baseball. Um, I said it in the space earlier. If I were David Stearns, I pay him whatever he wants. He wants a 7-year deal. I'm gonna give it to him. Why? Because you right now have
Really? You giving Pete Alonso a 7-year deal?
if that's what he wants.
Wow.
I think he's earned that in a way. The guy's barely hurt. The guy's always hitting you 30 plus home runs. The guy has given you the most in terms of RBIs. Um, yeah, he does strike out a lot, but at the end of the day, when it matters, he comes up. There's been moments where he hasn't, but for the most part, he's came up a lot. When the Mets have made the postseason with him, he's came through. Um, I think he's earned that right as a homegrown player. You also the options if he does leave aren't as good. He's the top of the top right now.
Yeah.
And I think if you want to make that run, you got to get him. You got to get him back. If there's a situation where the Mets don't want to pay him the 7 years, then then you try to have a conversation with him and just tell him like, listen, go out there. Let's wait till another team tries to offer you something, then come back. And if you feel like there's a different you like it over there, you like that offer better, then we'll see if we can match that. If not, thank you, and you can walk. But I feel like they should he's earned that. I know again he's not he defensively he has his flaws. I get that, but at the same time, it's like
That's my friend, bro. That's my friend.
um,
Yo.
at the same time, I also understand what he brings offensively, and
Yeah.
you see what a difference he makes in that lineup when he's hot. So, I don't think the Mets have a choice right now because they don't have anybody in their farm that they could bring up and say, "Yo, we could build with this kid." And the only person that they could probably that is in position to come up in the farm would have to be Clifford, and Clifford's not even ready. So, it's
No.
it's gonna be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, no, it definitely is going to be interesting to see what they do. I just feel like a 7-year deal. That's a big deal for Pete Alonso. I just don't see the Mets and David Stearns giving him that 7-year deal. And I don't know what other team is really going to give Pete Alonso that 7-year deal. I could see a 5-year deal, maybe a 6-year deal. I
I
just
see
don't
five.
see the 7-year deal.
I see five. I said
Yeah,
seven because it's like, yo, give him whatever he wants.
yeah.
But and realistically, I see five. I don't see seven.
Yeah. Because of
Um,
what I said, like those flaws that he has defensively, and the athletic body, he doesn't have that much of an athletic body. And it's a concern to some teams. It's a concern, obviously. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll go see what happens with Pete Alonso. I think he's a guy that he needs to be with the New York Mets. But I mean, when you really think about it, he's the best fit for the New York Mets. There's one guy that fits the Mets, and that is Pete Alonso at first base. So he's perfect for the Mets. But if the Mets don't make the deal, then what are they going to do? Are they going to go for a Josh Naylor? Are they going to go for a Akamoto? Are they going to go for these different type of players? Are they going to sign a Alex Bregman and I don't know, maybe trade for another first baseman? I don't know.
Well, speaking about a guy that could possibly the Mets could be interested in, and then he might be able to play that position. This guy right here, he just got posted, and now it's going to be a situation to see what team can get him. And the Mets have been linked to him numerous of times. Jeff Passan posted this article about Japanese superstar Murakami, and I'll read you the article before we get to our opinions. Japanese star third baseman Mentanaka, I can't even say his first.
Just call him Murakami, bro.
Is entering his posting system Friday, officially starting the process of one of the most anticipated free agencies of the winter. Murakami, 25, owns the single-season home run record for a Japanese player in Nippon professional baseball, having hit 56 and 22 to break the Suo record in 55, which was set in 1964. A prolific power hitter, Murakami leaves the Tokyo Yakult Swallows with 246 home runs over his 8 seasons in Japan. His slugging power is expected to draw widespread interest among Major League Baseball teams this winter. Murakami's 45-day window to sign will start at 8 a.m. Saturday, sources said, ensuring that he will sign with a big Major League team before it expires at 5 p.m. on December 22nd. Yeah. Murakami, who also can play first base, is one of the jewels of a deep class of players expected to come from Asia this winter. Other expected to join MLB teams through the posting system, which facilitates the transfers of players whose right teams can still control from Japan and Korea to MLB. The international free agent signing includes right-hander Amai, first baseman Akamoto. You got Tanahashi, and also expected to return. Oh, Cody. Cody's coming back?
Cody who?
Oh, Cody Ponce.
Oh,
I heard about this guy. That's who went 17-1 with the 1.89 ERA in Korea baseball. Ooh, okay. And Foster Griffin and Anthony Kay. Okay. Well, again, that's just a snippet of the article Jeff Passan posted on ESPN. Yeah. So let me tell you. Well, let me ask you actually. If the Mets don't bring back Pete Alonso, would you be okay with the Murakami coming to the Mets and playing first base?
See, the thing about Murakami is what A&E podcast said here. He's hitting under 100. Okay, Siri, don't get away from Siri. All right, so yeah, he's hitting 95 for a batting average right now when it comes to 93 miles per hour and higher. This is a guy that Murakami, I get it, he's a power hitter and all that, but I don't know. I don't know if I see the fit there. I don't know if I see the fit with the New York Mets. Maybe the Mets have some interest. We know that David Stearns in August, he went to visit. He went to Japan and saw Murakami hit this walk-off home run. And maybe he was impressed with Murakami. But I get it. He's one of the best power hitters in the game when it comes to in Japan. But this is a guy that I don't know if I can believe in him in 2026 with the New York Mets. I don't know if I can see that. I just feel like you have Pete Alonso, and that is a proven guy. That is someone that you have seen do it day in, day out with the New York Mets. And I'd rather have Pete Alonso than Murakami. But I do like the numbers when it comes to Murakami, but the velocity, the fact that he can't hit a lot of high velocity in the MLB, that concerns me, David, because the MLB, I mean, you see guys throwing 99. You see guys throwing 95, 96, 97. High velocity. Can Murakami fix that? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
So let me ask you, if he was to go one-on-one against a Hunter Green, who throws at least 103 miles per hour, Murakami's having trouble with that, is what you're saying.
I think he is. I think according to the reports, according to what we're reading, I think he is. I think he's – Hunter Green, you throw 100, 101 at some point. I mean, if you can't hit 93 or 93 plus, that is concerning. You are a baseball player.
Right,
This
right,
is not like what are we doing here?
right.
Now, I don't know. Somebody was telling me today that he had an injury, that he had some type of hip injury or something that he missed time. I don't know if that's true, and maybe that led to that. So I don't know.
Well, it should be pretty interesting to see what the Mets do. I see Ace A&E podcast, excuse me, he said start Vientos at first and make Brett Beatty your everyday third baseman. I don't know if I want to do that. Just because, like I said, I think Mark Vientos would be suited more offensively than defensively, and I would have him as a DH. Brett Beatty, I would definitely make my third baseman. He's shown a lot last year, especially in that
Yeah.
position where Mark Vientos, again, at least even though he wasn't consistent last year, he showed off power at times,
Yeah.
and I think he'll be suited up as a DH better than what
I,
he would
I,
do
I don't
defensively.
even want to see. I don't even want to see Mark Gindles on the field. I don't want to see him on the field. I want to see him as DH maybe, but I don't want to see. I don't want to see him on the field. I just think defensively, he's one of the worst. He's one of the worst third basemen in the game. And first base, a new position, a position that he doesn't even really play much. And we saw like a game, maybe we saw like 2 games. With I think 1 game, maybe either 1 or 2, but it wasn't a good game when it comes to Mark Vientos. He has a strong arm, but his feet is slow, and he needs to work on a lot of things defensively if he wants to be a defensive first baseman. I just don't see it though. I don't
So
see it.
Eva coming in with the pom poms and saying, "Hell nah, I'd rather let Soto play at first before I'd see Vientos there." Element. So
Well, we know that Juan Soto was taking some balls, some ground balls and whatever there. He was practicing in the season,
yeah,
and maybe that's just coming from the Mets saying this could possibly be a backup plan. I don't know. I
yeah.
just don't see Juan Soto being a first baseman for the Mets in 2026.
I don't either unless something really, knock on wood, but unless something happens to where he can't play right field anymore, then maybe they'll
Yeah,
be like, "Yo, let's do what Philly did with Harper." You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Let's try to make that transition. But speaking of Juan Soto is another one that won a Silver Slugger award, and it's his first with the New York Mets. Again, you look at his stats right here. Juan Soto for 2025 had 160 at bats, only missed 2 games. Played 160 games. Excuse me. Had 577 bats, scored in 120 runs, had 152 hits, 20 doubles, 1 triple, 43 home runs with 105 RBIs, 127 walks, uh, stroke out 137 times. So that's a little bit higher than his career. That's the most in his career. And mind you, most of that he struggled within the first 2 months of the season in April and May. But then he had 38 stolen bases, which we'll get into the man behind that. Finished with a 263 average, excuse me, 525 slugging and an OPS of 921, and his WAR was 6.2, which is the best WAR in his career. Was second best WAR in his career. He had third best, because his 2021 his WAR was 7.0. His second best was 7.9 with the Yankees, which was the first best, and then he had a 6.2. So again, he had an amazing season in terms of WAR. Had a great season overall. Started off rocky, but then kind of found his way. Your overall assessment on Juan Soto's first year as a New York Met?
Listen, the first year for Juan Soto as a New York Met, it wasn't how I thought it was going to go. I didn't think that he was gonna be off to this slow start, hitting 220. His running and scoring position numbers was horrible. It was like every big moment, Juan Soto just couldn't come through. He couldn't come through, and that's not what we want when we sign Juan Soto. When the Mets sign Juan Soto, they're thinking, oh, they signed this game changer. They signed this clutch player. They signed one of the best players in the game, and he is one of the best players in the game. But that beginning of the season, he did not play like that. He did not play like that. But overall, second half, he was one of the best second half best players with the New York Mets. He was the player of the month in June. Player of the month in June. And the Mets didn't have a positive record. But he was the player of the month. But that's just how Soto was very important to the team, but he didn't have a lot of clutch hits overall in the beginning of the season, and that really, I think, killed the Mets. A lot of times, we know that the struggles with runners in scoring position was clearly it was very, very clear, and it really sucked to see. It sucked to see, but this is a new team, and I get it. It's New York. It's still the same as in New York, right? New York Yankees, New York Mets, but it is a new team. The guy is human. The guy is still young, and overall, I mean, 43 home runs, I believe he hit, and then 38 stolen bases. So almost a 40-40 season. That is a very, very impressive season, because if you want to call this a down year or whatever you want to call it, imagine an even better year than that. Imagine him hitting like 320, maybe 310, and him getting those numbers.
He would have got MVP. Definitely would have gotten MVP.
The thing about the MVP, I don't know if I see Juan Soto winning an MVP with Shohei Ohtani in the league.
I mean,
and that's the sad part. That's the because Juan Soto is an amazing player, but Shohei Ohtani is just a different beast, man. He's a different beast, and I don't know. It's going to be tough. But listen, congratulations to Juan Soto on the Silver Slugger Award. He deserves it, but I'm hoping we get a better season. There was a lot of issues with the chemistry also in the season. Starling Marte was trying to get him out of his shell. We didn't see that happy Soto in the beginning, the Soto shuffle thing and all that. So I think when it comes to Juan Soto, I'm just hoping we see better chemistry and overall a better season. But overall, he had a really good season. Right. But was it the most amazing season that Juan Soto has ever had? I don't think so. But it was one of his overall best because of the stolen bases, 38 stolen bases. Because I think he had 16? He had 16 stolen bases. Right, and then you go from that to 38. So,
I mean, again, he didn't have. I mean, I think his 1 year with the Yankees was his best one. He played 157 games, had 576 at bats, scored in 128 runs compared to his 120 last year. 166 hits, more than last year, more doubles. He had more triples. He had less home runs, obviously, but it was neck and neck. That's 41 compared to his 43 last year.
Yep.
More RBIs, right? It was four more. He had more walks. He had less strikeouts, 119 compared to his 137. Less stolen bases though, and even though his OPS was higher with a higher average, I do want to talk about the stolen base because there's a man behind the madness of him getting his 38 stolen bases, and I think it all kind of felt like a low blow when we saw this tweet right here. Mike Mayer was the first to report that former pitching coach Jeremy Hefner and former first base coach Antoine Richardson are both joining the Braves. And let me tell you something why I felt like this was a fucking this was a yo. It only happens to the Mets because out of any team that those two motherfuckers could have gone to, they go to the division rivals. Like that one right there, I had to laugh. I just had to laugh. I'm like, of course, you could smell it from a mile away. You just knew. Now, here's my thing. Jeremy Hefner, I didn't care for the guy. Yeah, he must be a cool guy off the field or whatever. Blessings to him. I'm sure he has a beautiful family. In terms of a pitching coach, I didn't care. I didn't like him. There were certain tactics that he was doing as a pitching coach I didn't like. He would always wait for his pitchers to be in pressure situations that they couldn't get out of to come out and talk to. I didn't like it. I didn't like any of his tactics. People that talk about, well, he did great with 2022 pitching. Cool. What did he fucking do? I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So I'm glad that they came to their senses and said bye. However, Antoine Richardson, on the other hand, I didn't like. Now, before people come out here and talk about, because I've seen it for the past 2 days. Oh, are we really getting mad because Antoine Richardson, our first base coach, is gone? This isn't that. I'm gonna tell y'all something. When he has a positive effect on my players, and he's a positive effect in my clubhouse, I'm making sure that guy stays here. I'm making sure that whatever he wants, whatever he's asking for. He's a first base coach. He's not a fucking GM. He's not a player. He's a first base coach. Give it to him. Because I want to make sure that respect and that comfortability stays within my team. So when he has a positive effect on and off the field with not only my best player, my highest paid player on my team, but everyone else, I'm keeping him. So in my opinion, regardless if he's a first baseman, he's a scout, it don't matter. That's an L on David Stearns. So again, I just want to say that. I don't know how you feel. Yo, A&E is you're a funny dude, bro. You're funny dude. I like this guy. Andy, your thought. Matter of fact, before you get to that, I actually want to go to what the reasoning was. It's actually up here. As to why Antoine left, and Mike Puma actually reported Antoine Richardson told us he left the Mets for the Braves because of a difference in opinion over his value. And I quote, "I had a proposed salary with benefits included." He said the Mets had a proposed salary with benefits included. We differed on the salary part of it. So again, regardless of what the difference in salary was, I think the Mets should have been like, listen, because of the job that you did, we'll give it to you. For a team that doesn't care about money. So I don't know how you feel about that, but
Yo, I mean, listen. When it comes to Antoine Richardson, like you said, he did a lot for the team. They led the lead in stolen bases, completed stolen bases. This is a guy that Antoine Richardson, he's a good first base coach, man. He's a good first base coach. He's really good. He added a lot to the Mets this year, but to not bring him back, and to not bring him back because of money, like this is the New York Mets team. This is a New York Mets team. We're not talking about the Pirates here. We're not talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. We're talking about the New York Mets, a big market team. Mm-hmm. And we can't pay Antoine Richardson because, value or the salary? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And it really doesn't make sense, to be honest. Like, what is David Stearns not seeing in value when it comes to Antoine Richardson? This is the one guy that universally everybody wanted. Everybody wanted this guy.
Right.
And to not bring him back and lose him to the Atlanta Braves, your competition, it is absolutely horrible. But of course, that's what it is. That's the biggest Met thing ever. That's the biggest Met thing ever. So I just hate it. I hate it, bro. I hate it. But Jeremy Hefner, he is a well-respected guy, and I knew he was going to get a different job. And I know you don't like Jeremy Hefner that much. I get it. But he's well-respected in the league, and I knew he was going to get a different job right away. But
Eric Chavez gets a hitting coach position, or he's done?
Yo, honestly, Eric Chavez, I could see him getting a hitting coach position, but I don't know, man. I don't know. But we will see what happens. We will see what happens because Antoine Richardson, man, like, it really sucks to lose him. It really sucks to lose him. But it is what it is. The Mets got to move on, apparently. And, yeah, they got to move on. But it really sucks, especially losing him to your competition.
Right. Now,
Because
now we're gonna
now we got to see him in the Braves, bro. Now we got to see him in the Braves. Like
July 4th weekend, bro.
all those games that we play against the Braves, we are going to see Antoine Richardson as the first base coach. And there's a lot of things that Antoine Richardson knows about the Mets, obviously, because he was with the Mets, and Jeremy Hefner knows with the Mets. That has been with the Mets for a bit of a time now, some time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, those guys, it sucks to lose them.
Well, now that we got that out the way, we'll get to the cream of the crop, the last part of the video. And it's one that everybody kind of, we spoke about the P thing, we spoke about options, but we also forgot the options of Edwin Diaz. Edwin Diaz was offered yesterday the qualifying offer. So far, it has yet to be determined or announced whether he has accepted or not accepted, and we're all expecting him not to accept it.
He's not going to accept it.
He's
There's
not
no
gonna
way.
accept it. If he does, the Mets owe him everything. If he wants a private jet, if he wants his own suite with extra anything he wants, you give it to that man. But a great article from The Athletic from Will Salmon, where Will Salmon went into depth about the qualifying offer that the Mets have offered Edwin Diaz. So it says the Mets extended Edwin Diaz a $22.5 million qualifying offer on Thursday. And it says here, a reunion between the New York Mets and Edwin Diaz won't be so simple. After the 2022 season, New York and the closer agreed to a new 5-year contract before free agency even opened. This year, the two sides couldn't come to terms on as swiftly, and the Mets extended Diaz the $22.5 million qualifying offer on Thursday. Diaz opted out of the final 2 years and the $37 million on that initial 5-year deal. The right-hander who turns 32 in March has until November 18th to accept or decline the qualifying offer. There is zero chance he accepts it. The expectation, based on conversations with league sources, is for Diaz to test the market this time around. The Mets have already shown some interest in re-signing Diaz, a league source said, but it's unclear how far the club will go to retain him. The star closer seems poised to land a deal that keeps him atop the market. After all, Diaz opted out of $18.5 million per season over the next two. The top annual salary for a closer is Josh Hader's $19 million with the Houston Astros. Diaz, the number 11 free agency on the Athletics big board, should become the first closer to earn $20 million per season. There's a reasonable chance the deal will be long enough to make him the first closer to sign a 9-figure contract. So, my guy, what are you thinking about that? Do you think the Mets will go all out to re-sign him? And if they don't, I know you said in episode 1 that they'd probably go after Robert Suarez, but do you see it being a good chance that they give him that 9-figure deal and bring him back, or do you think David Stearns is gonna still be asleep and not even retain him back?
But listen, I think when it comes to David Stearns, he's so unpredictable. I don't know what he's going to do. But I think that the Mets need to sign Edwin Diaz back. They got to re-sign him. They got to get him back. Edwin Diaz is the heart of this team. We really need this guy. 1.63 ERA, absolutely amazing. One of the best closers in the game. His fastball is electric. His slider is electric. There's not a lot of guys that are like Edwin Diaz. You saw that game in the Cincinnati Reds game. Remember that? 3-man on, nobody out. Struck out 2 in a row, then got the ground ball to second base. Acuna got that big out. See, that's just, and we were doing the live that day, remember? We were doing the live that day.
Yep.
This is a special closer, man, and the Mets need this guy. I think that Edwin Diaz loves it here. I think that Steve Cohen loves Edwin Diaz. And thank you, Brody Van Wagen, for trading for Edwin Diaz, because without him, he would not have been a New York Met. So we absolutely need him. We absolutely need him, and he's not going to accept the qualifying offer. There's no way he's going to accept that. Like, he's had zero chance. But today, Will Salmon, on SNY, he said that they want him back, and they offered him some type of deal, but That was before he hit free agency. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Edwin Diaz, but I'll tell you this. If the Mets lose Edwin Diaz, the Mets are screwed.
Right.
Also, another option, Pete Fairbanks. He
I forgot they declined.
declined
Yeah,
the
yeah.
offer, and now he's going to be a free agent. So he could be an intriguing name that I could see maybe the Mets being interested if they do not bring back Edwin Diaz. Now, we need to bring back Edwin Diaz. There is no ifs, buts about it. He's the heart of the Mets.
Right. Oof, that I forgot about Pete Fairbanks. Let's look at his numbers real quick. He had 27 saves. He had a 2.83 ERA with 59 Ks and a WHIP of 1.04. Not a bad option. Not a bad option.
Not a bad option at all, man. He's really good.
No Edwin Diaz, but again, I think he would be a solid candidate. Yeah. I think he, in my opinion, I mean, who's shit? I'll compare it right now. Let's look at Robert Suarez's numbers. Let me see. Suarez. Here we go. Okay. So you look at Robert Suarez's number: 40 saves, a 2.97 ERA with 75 Ks and a WHIP of 0.90. So again, stats a little bit better, but I think they're both on the same playing field. Mm-hmm. Even again, that's the best option that the Mets could have within those two. Because then you look at the free agent list for closers, it's not as good. So I would say that I don't think the Mets want to put themselves in that position. I think Edwin Diaz has earned the right to get paid what he has coming his way. Best closer in baseball right now. Yeah, I don't think anybody has topped that. So
a lot of people in the industry do not believe that Stearns is going to sign back Diaz because of his philosophy and the fact that he doesn't sign relievers for that long. Older relievers. But Edwin Diaz is 31 years old. He deserves to stay on this team. He should stay on this team. Right. I think he has 2 years on it. He had 2 years left on the contract, but he opted out. Like, it is what it is. I felt like he did that for his family. He did that for the players' union, and I don't think that he wanted to leave the Mets. But I mean, just imagine this, David: Edwin Diaz in a Dodger uniform, Edwin Diaz in a Braves uniform, and Edwin Diaz in another uniform, and just in general, another uniform, another MLB uniform. That is, to me, going to be a nightmare for the New York Mets. We are going to absolutely hate David Stearns. Yeah. Hate him. Like, I know people, they're talking about Antoine Richardson or whatever. He's just a coach. Right. But Edwin Diaz, bro, that is your closer. Closers don't grow on trees. So they absolutely need Edwin Diaz back. If they don't get him back, Met fans are going to be pissed off, and I mean really pissed off. So get this deal done, get it done quickly, for we can just take a deep breath. Because I think Met fans need to take a little deep breath, give this Met fans just some breathing room here, because Edwin Diaz, the idea of losing Edwin Diaz, it's like a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Listen, I don't even want to. No. I can't even, bro.
I know.
You can't come on a press conference and talk about urgency and then not bring your best closer back. That's
you want to talk about run prevention. Yeah. I mean, Edwin Diaz is it.
Exactly. But we'll see what they do, man. Yo, Randy, I appreciate your time, bro. As always, Randy is my co-host. Again, a lot of more information to come out as the offseason rolls. We're just getting started on the offseason. As you guys saw, the most that has came out has been the fact that Murakami has been posted. So
Akamoto has been posted too, I believe.
Yes. Akamoto has been posted as well. Those guys, teams have until December 22nd. To sign them to a major league team. What the Mets do in terms of Murakami should be pretty interesting, and I think that that determines the situation with Pete. That's also, mind you, the deadline is after winter meetings.
Mm.
So the winter meetings could play a factor into that as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe they sign at the winter meetings, and it's gonna be a crazy winter meetings. As that the last bomb that happened in the winter meetings was Juan Soto signing with the Mets last year, and we all remember where we were at for
I
that.
remember exactly where I was at.
I remember too, man. But yo, with that being said, we appreciate everybody tuning in on this beautiful Friday night. We hope you guys have a blessed one and the rest of the blessing for the rest of the weekend. Randy, I appreciate you as always, my guy. Make sure you guys follow, share, and subscribe to my guy Randy at Randy Talks Mets. Make sure you shoot him a follow on X, Instagram, and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like, share, follow, and subscribe to the Top Bunk Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you guys follow me at Top Bunk Sports on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Until then, we will see you guys on episode 3 of Mets on Top.